work, I'm still not completely familiar with this streaming app, Omelette Arcade. If anyone is watching and can give me a heads up either in this Diamond 3 chat or this Solo 2 chat or in Global, that would be really useful. So I'm not exactly sure what to call this stream. I just had some time, my phone was charged, so thought I'd jump online. So let's hope I'm not talking to myself. So I guess I'm just going to go over kind of some different tunes that I have right now and how I kind of see a use in them, and explaining kind of what I'm doing with them or why I've left certain tunes. So like when we go to Hengyan here, you'll see I have him maxed out at level 90 as a 6-star. He's the only one that I have, so like I can't get him as an S-class yet. I've heard a lot of good things about him as an S-class tune. I just haven't been able to prioritize him because of all the other S-class tunes that are out there. Like the first tune that I prioritized for S-class that was not a free one was Priya. Just because she's an all-encompassing tune in my opinion. She has a great lead skill. Her rush does high amounts of damage, can also confuse and impair enemies, and her active skill, this remove positive effects, is actually really useful. Like you can use it to remove tunes that are pain splitting. You can remove, attack up. You can there's a bunch of different things you can remove from it. Her weapon, this 100% chance to daze for 4 turns, super useful by being able to nullify active skills. You really neuter a lot of different tunes. Ralito here, I would have loved to have him as an S-class tune, but I feel like until I get either, Raven or Doc, it's very difficult to run him as kind of like a control bleed tune, even as an offensive tune, because like I love bleed teams. You guys have seen many videos that I've done on bleed teams, and with he has a bound weapon, so impairing on attack, his lead skill, that 300 bleed for 3 turns at the beginning of each wave as an S-class, it's 600 bleed, which is quite high. When you lacerate that, it doubles the bleed on it, so 1200 bleed. The rush can go up to, I think it actually goes up to like 1500 bleed as an S-class tune, and crosshairs is extremely useful because you're able to decap the enemy. Same with the active skill crosshairs. I really just maxed him out to level 90 because I could get 1,100 S-class items by turning him in, as well as 500 cakes, and I'm kind of waiting for that with Hengyan as well. Moving on, Mr. Jones, I kind of got him through a glitch in the game, to be honest, but I found him to be super useful. I actually run him on an attack team because I really like his rush. It is slow because infection takes 3 turns, and based on how crosshairs and infection work on this tune, the tune will die from infection after crosshairs is over, which kind of sucks. But with a double attack weapon, he can get 3 to 6 attacks on his rush, and on each attack they can have a critical hit, which means that Mr. Jones can confound each enemy that he ends up attacking. His active skill, this Daze active skill, is extremely useful as well. As mentioned before, Daze can really prevent a lot of defensive teams from being able to, not just do what they want, but have create a longer battle for you, or honestly be able to kill you in some cases. This is the type of weapon that I'm using on him right now. I need to reset this last trait because when attacking, a better chance for 2 teammates to gain camouflage for 1 turn is only good against walkers. I want to get the one where on a critical hit, do damage to 2 other tunes. So I believe that's Rampage. Moving on from there, Harper, I've been liking her quite a bit. I have a defensive build on her with a crit chance mod. The reason why I did a defensive build is because, of course, she's not an S-class tune. Her job is to disarm the enemy. It isn't to cause a lot of damage, because even with 3 attacks of 150% damage, her attack stat is just too low to do anything significant. So instead, she's a debuff tune, sorry. minus 50 attack and minus 50 defense to all enemies for 2 turns really helps with lining up attacks and rushes by my other teammates' tunes. Weapon, 40% defense, just because, again, like, she is a very squishy tune, in my opinion, especially with James out there. So I'm hoping that with a high enough crit chance mod, she is able to survive. I'm just going to check to see if anyone has been able to tell me that I am live, and I have no idea. 0 idea. Okay, let's see. If I am talking to myself, that kind of sucks, but hopefully someone's out there listening and can gather some interesting points. So here's my Mercer. He is only a 6-star one at the moment, but I have an idea for him as an S-class. Or even right now as a 6-star, I think he's brilliant in the arenas. Because when we take a look at draft, for instance, so in draft mode, there's no mod effects that can come into play. So if you run Mercer on defense as the lead, even as a 6-star, even as a 5-star, he's guaranteed to stun 2 enemies. As an S-class, he stuns all 5 enemies for 1 turn. That prevents the turn 2 rush from the attacker. It also means that on defense, you have a better chance of actually killing the enemy. So like right now, I'm actually going to set up my team here. I'm not going to go with this. There's also no lead skills. So, okay, so in this case, not Mercer. Sorry, that was a really bad example. I don't want it to save, so it's still there. Sorry, guys. Trait Mania is one. Jeez, that's kind of embarrassing mixing that up, but Trait Mania, no mod effects come into play, so same idea as before. This is what I set up just because I want my team to be offensive. I want to cause damage, so in this case, like I'm not getting any HP or defensive bonus. So my goal here is to try to cause as much damage to the enemy as possible. I'll probably switch out Michelle, and I'll use Cole. So the reason why I'm going to throw Cole in here is because Mercer can only send 2 enemies for 1 turn, and that's at the very beginning. And I think that could really affect the opponent because now they can't, like now they have to adjust their strategy on the fly. And I think one of the things that makes a good player and a bad player, well, not as good as the good player, is that they can't adapt to situations. It's hard for anyone to really adapt, but in an arena like this, obviously Mercer's lead skill is a lot more effective than anyone else out there at the moment. Let's see, because all these mods don't come into play. So although like weaken stats, kind of, because with no mods in play, it means he can't resist anything either. I'm not getting a true lead bonus, but my main goal is to prevent the enemy from being able to kill me on the 2nd turn, which could be doable because Mercer can stun 2 enemies. Let me take a look. I think, is Medic Squad the same? No, it's not. There's one other one that has no mods, and I can't remember which one it is other than draft. Old school, I switched over to my 5-star Mercer that I have as the leader, just that lead skill, and then his rush is something that I like because there's more stunning, and then there's bonus HP. No idea, no, that was my old defense. So leaving that for now. Going back over here. Princess. Okay, so I've done a video on her before, and I've talked about this active skill Normalize, and how it can be great against payback tunes and bide tunes, but something I considered after is that she can actually use her active skill not just on human shields, but on command tunes. And I think that is one of the most useful abilities to normalize, because command tunes end up causing a lot of chaos in battle. You never really know like who the command tune's going to command if there's multiple options. So by being able to take away this skill here, you're more or less forcing the command tune to attack or use their active skill. And oftentimes they won't have their rush because their weapons are not designed for them to rush. Instead, the opponent usually just wants them commanding the whole time, hence why you use a command toon. Okay, so James here. So yeah, moving on. James here, great attacking toon for me. I'm really happy with him. I have all the gold bricks I need to complete this and get my other knives. I just was kind of holding on to my bricks in case they came out with a gold brick character like soon, but they haven't. So James is kind of just sitting around. Priya's sitting around. I really need to level her. It just hasn't happened yet. I need to work on her weapon a lot. I think I'm going to make it a 5-star weapon, even with 38% attack, just because it's going to take a long time to get the perfect weapon. But what I need right now is something usable. So I'm going to have to give up on that 2% attack bonus in exchange for upgrading her weapon to a 5-star and her just becoming more powerful. Kapoor right here is the biggest false positive I think we've seen in a while. And by false positive, I mean we think he's a good toon because he's an S-class toon, but really he doesn't do much. He stalls people out, but that's only if he rushes, really. If he rushes, 80% defense, and this active skill, this healing, is really annoying. But with Daze out there, you can prevent this active skill from going off. With Dexterity, you just use Normalize, and it's nullified completely. And regarding his rush, you can confuse him, taunt him, impair him, AP drain him, and so on, and just, then it doesn't do much. 1500 maim does not do a significant amount of damage against toons that have, 5,000 to 10,000 HP. Weapon-wise, I give him a stun gun. I have this general setup on him, but honestly, I can't see myself using him very much. Chris and Zeke, I'm going to eventually level them just so I can get the dual specialist Michonne because I think she looks pretty cool. Arav, I'm leveling him right now. I want to get him up to tier 4, level 90, so I can exchange him for cakes and get some more S-class items. Okay, so this toon here, Roxy, I think she's going to pair amazingly with my Mercer eventually. So the reasoning for that, Mercer as an S-class toon, let's go find him actually, just so I can refer to him as I'm going through this. So Mercer as an S-class toon. All tough and strong teammates get a huge bonus to AP when taking damage. At the beginning of each wave, up to 5 enemies get stunned for 1 turn. So on defense, if I have him as a lead, I have I actually have a pretty good chance of stunning a few enemies. Oh, by the way, I have almost 2,000 cards, but of stunning some enemies. So let's say I do stun them. Well, they're not going to be able to do much on that first turn. Instead, I get to attack, and then it's their turn, and they're going to be trying to gain some AP, and by my second turn, now I have this option here, where up to 4 enemies get attack up block for 3 turns. I don't care about this all teammates get plus 20% defense for 3 turns, it's way too low, but preventing the enemy from getting attack up would be a huge asset, in my opinion, especially for it being over 3 turns. So if I were to create a team on defense like, okay, let's see, if I throw in Cole. So Cole has this active skill, turn 1, taunt up to 3 enemies for 1 turn and minus 50% attack. So if I'm able to stun with Mercer, wherever he is, Mercer, wrong Mercer. Hold on, sorry guys, bear with me. There we go. If I'm able to stun with Mercer in turn 1, so that is preventing the enemy from attacking me. So on my turn 1, now Cole is going to use his active skill and do minus 50% attack to 3 enemies and taunt them into him, which gives me more control and could prevent AP gain. Next, if I throw in James as an attacking boost, and then wherever Roxy is, Roxy. Okay, I guess I missed her. Nope, there she is. And Roxy, because Then after Cole's done, Roxy's able to use her active skill because the opponent won't be able to attack on their second turn, or if they are, they're attacking Cole, which with the minus 50% attack should help with making sure he doesn't die. But then on my turn, if I'm able to prevent them from using attack up, then they're forced to use defense down. And when the enemy's forced to do something, it means you're in so much more control because you can anticipate what they have to do in order to beat your team. Now, of course, there's a lot of RNG in a team like this. Hold on. And the last toon that I would use... Oh, let's see. We could use another Cole so that there's extra taunt in there and less attack, and just leave most of it attacking to James. We could add in... We don't want to add in a human shield because of a very large bonus to AP when taking damage. I think it's a huge bonus to AP when taking damage as the lead skill. We could use Douglas because Douglas can give a Guardian Shield to 2 enemies on a critical hit. He can heal, he can taunt, and his active skill is Confuse. He can have an Impair weapon when being attacked. So decent choice there. We could use Xander, active Disarm on his weapon, an AP gain. When he rushes, he can... What can he do? He does minus 85% AP and 100% AP gain to 1 teammate, as well as Impair. That active skill, as I mentioned, the Disarm. And then the weapon, when being attacked, a better chance to gain plus 20% AP. So this is kind of the type of team that I'm imagining in the future. Right now, though, I am running this. So the reason I'm running this is because the taunting ability and the attack down will prevent the enemy from being able to apply as much damage to my team because I'm missing the HP and defensive lead. James is there to apply a lot of damage. With Cole's actually having Berserker, they can actually apply a decent amount of damage to someone's attacking team. And Mercer, with his Rush, can apply damage, can stun, and gets plus 50% bonus HP when he's able to rush. His active skill, this Elusive and Recover. So Elusive can be pretty valuable in my opinion. When this character gets Elusive for 2 turns, that's not as important. But the other part about all teammates recover from Bleed, Burn, and Maim can be very effective in my opinion. Just with so many toons, using Bleed right now, especially anyone who has a Rolito lead, being able to recover from that on the second turn really prevents any significant damage from occurring. Burn is less used. Maim, it's still pretty used, because you have your Zachary's and stuff that some people still rely on, but less so. So just a general build right now. I'm testing it out, and I think I had a couple defense, so had a defend here. Interesting attack team. It looks like it might be an auto attack team because they're relying on Gabe to revive toons as well as recover from all penalties, James for damage, Leopold for her daze as well as her Impair, Rick with his Guardian Shield as well as his Taunt and Active Revive, and Michonne as the damage dealer alongside James because of her Beheading ability as well as Stun. This team here, Jesus Shield, so to direct me into the shield. Michelle as the attack lead. Yumiko, I like Yumiko actually because of the confounding ability and the bonus attack on her rush. Krista as the damage dealer, and Kapoor as kind of an anchor. So let's go into a raid right now. We'll take on this team here. Let's see, my guess is S16 plus, maybe? Sorry, S15 plus, my bad. So I'm gonna just use my main attack team and see what's up. Okay, so basic attacks are increased. I'm gonna taunt her into me. Gonna get stun. I'm gonna have to try to stun him. I stunned him. I lead with Diego on my stunning quest just because he has a 75% stun resist mod. Let's see here. So the downside here is that I need to try to kill Dale. Okay. So the reason why I had to do that is because he would command Mia to revive Negan. And now on this turn, I'm going to have to use Cole's Rush here. And now I need to kill Mia because she won't be able to use her active revive or her rush revive. I'm going to confuse as well as increase my attack. And now Pete's dead. I need to impair and defense down with Diego because I don't want Priya to rush. If she rushes, I'm pretty much dead. And I'm also going to rush with Cole to try and kill, and I did get that kill, plus 98% attack. I'm guessing that's because he was attacked, so the Berserker took place, and then also Glenn's rush gave plus 65% attack, I believe. Right here you see I got 47 raid points, and that's because of a difference. Well, this is what I believe. I believe it's because of the difference in team grade. So he's an S15++, and when we go and check me out, I'm an S13+ max. So the past couple weeks, I've been taking it kind of easy in the game, just with it being the Christmas holidays, you know. You want to spend time with the people you care about. So I'm sure all of you guys, or at least I hope you guys have been relaxing a bit. This game can become very stressful and ridiculous. Like right here, this one-time Shiva special, $14. It's supposedly 90% off, but this Shiva, she was just in the League store not that long ago. And as a lacerator, you know, she's pretty good, but she doesn't really survive in the S-class age. This bag it just confounds me. You can either get 20 coins or 2,020 coins. You have a 99% chance to get 20 coins. I just got 20 coins today in a scavenger mission, and I don't know, that just makes me laugh. 5 million in food, 5 trainers, and a few tins. Not really worth it. These apples are also ridiculous to me. So it costs $11, and you get 25 apples guaranteed, and then a bag where, let's say you just keep getting 20 apples, so that's 45 apples in a bag for $11. And when we go up to year 4, 50, 60, 70, 80, 86, 92, 98, 104. So you need 104 apples, and you had to start this from the beginning. So with 104 apples, say you have 45, that means you need to buy probably 3 bags. You'd need to buy at most 3 bags every day for 13 days. So 3 times 11 is 33. 33 times 13. Well, that's 330, and then added on to 99. So 422, I think. I don't know, my math might be off right now. But so $422 Canadian, but it'd probably be a bit less than that. I'll say 400 Canadian, which would be what, like $340 American type of thing. So it's a lot of money, but you do end up getting 5,000 S-Class items, which is a huge amount. So for many, I can see a lot of players actually doing this because 5,000 cards is very close to, like, it's half an S-Class tomb. And just thinking about the cost that other players are going, like, are getting based on how many pulls they have to make to get even close to this amount. Like, I did 100 pulls on Mercer, and I have 2,000 cards, not even. And hold on, let me see the cost of 100 pulls, because that's 2 of these. We'll just say it's like 2.5 of these, so 280, and so $350 for 2,000 cards for me, basically. So you are getting a deal technically with the other one, but it just doesn't feel like a deal because it's Christmas and you'd think that there'd be something, actually like a deal. This here, $28, you get 200 red cakes, 500, I don't know what you can do with that. This is good. This is okay. This is not good. These stupid quills. Raid sale, $4 for 2 crates, 10s guaranteed, and 2, 3, or 10. I wouldn't risk it. Now the bear hunt, I don't know why they're selling letters this way. Like, I do understand because leveling up your player every week or 2 times a week is very difficult, but it should just not be part of this event. Like, I'm sure they can think of something else to do instead of level up your player. Like, how about just level up a toon 100 times? I'm sure everyone would rather level up a toon 100 times, like even if it was 1 stars or 2 stars, than have to level up your player, because you see, like, you need so much percent to level up, and without a survival road tournament going on, it just becomes ridiculous. The other offers, we just got some trainer offers, which have been bad for a while. Gear pack, arena tickets. It wouldn't be bad if this 100,000 food was gone. If that was gone, then I'm pretty sure people would be quite happy with this because, you have a chance of getting 5 extra tickets. But instead of looking at that 5 tickets, we're looking at this 100,000 food. So, yeah, that's my thought on the offers right now. I don't want to get any of these crates. I have a decent number of coins at the moment. Going to sit on those for a while, see what I can do. Let me see. I have not finished this roadmap, so I guess I'll just auto this away. I'm going to use a Priya though, just to kind of look at the attack. Like right here, this Priya has almost 17,000 attack, but that's combining these lead skills of plus 50% and plus 40%. So attack obviously gets high. Like my Priya here only has about 12,500. It's one of the reasons why I really want to work on my Priya, because I know her attack can get so much higher and be so much more effective. Let's see, what else can I show you guys? Oh, right now for this bear event, I have a week to try and get 28 teddy bears, and I do not think I'm going to get there. So I don't know. I'm a little disheartened just because I did try. Like, I wasn't pushing myself a ton because it's like I'm not gonna get the S class anytime soon anyway. It would have been nice to kind of get started on her, but I guess we'll kind of see what happens. Card wise, I only have 1,080 cards. So I can't even get a second one if she pops up in the museum eventually. So yeah, that's where I'm at for that. So as you see, I'm not really close to many other toons. I'm kind of close to Narav for a second one because I do want to get him as an S class. That is a major goal that I would like to reach, because him as an S class toon, he just hits really hard. His specialist skill, along with his rush, pair really well together. The only real fear that you have of running him is if it's against Leopold and you can't control her, because her active skill will effectively kill Arav as soon as he rushes. So you just have to be mindful of that. Like right now, I think that she's still broken, so I guess you just have to use her brokenness to your advantage. Okay. Still don't know if I'm live, but in a minute and a half I'll have another energy to do another raid. Let's see, how's my faction doing for this? Looks like we're in second right now. We're in fourth. Haha, never mind. I'll put up some points though. I know people through the holidays, it's tough to get on and play. You want to spend time with your family, with your friends, and just not on the game, and I completely understand that. Oh, go Russell, good job. He already reached his milestones. I am slacking far behind at only 472. Let's see, 35 more torches though. 35 more torches. Yeah, so I need 166 torches, I think, to run this, so I'm getting close. And then I'll get 130 more S-Class items. What S-Class items do they even offer? So they do offer all the way up to Wangfa, but I would really like Mercer ones as well. I just know I'm going to have to wait on that. I've been tempted to do another 40 pull on Mercer, even though I already have them, just to try and get some of these cards, because 30% chance for S-Class collectible items. The unfortunate part about this this collection is that you can get anywhere from 1 to 1,000 cards. So the odds really are not accurate, in my opinion, because you can't actually tell what you're getting. So that's a frustration of mine, to be honest, because, a 30% chance to get what? 1 card, 1,000 cards, there's a big difference between that. It really should be broken down a bit better, just for clarity's sake. The buyer has to know what they're getting. Oh, this bag right here. I hate this bag. 1,650 coins. You're guaranteed 200 bullets and 200 Dayu cards, but that's a lot of coins. You'd think around Christmas there'd be some better deals, just because it's Christmas, season of giving. But whatever. Let's find a real player. No, I don't want a Benny. No, I don't want a Dwight. No, I don't want a Sandy. No, I'm not feeling Rolito. Okay. So, real player right here. This is actually my friend. I can't remember what they're running, but we'll go at it with the same team. Okay, so Slater is a reviver, active turn 3. That's good to know. He has a taunt resist, and this is only a 10% taunt resist. So I'm going there. Better chance to cause defense down when being attacked. Critical hits taken by 50%. Daze. I'm going to attack here. I want a Daze Pete, and there's no stun weapon. Next, I'm going to attack over on Doc. Rush here. Okay, so I want her to use her active skill, because it means she won't attack. I don't want him using his active skill, so this is where I attack. I'm now going to hit Doc to try and take him out. Now, if I attack here with James, then I'm doing trait damage, and I could get a critical hit. If I get a critical hit, it'll do collateral damage to the adjacent tunes, so Priya and Pete. And I got a critical hit, killed Doc, killed Krista. Now, my next move, Slater can't do much right now, because he's dazed and he's impaired. Pete cannot use his active skill, so I'm going to take out Priya just because she can do the most damage to my team by actually doing damage to my team. Here I'm going to attack, and by being able to confuse the enemy this turn, it means nothing's really going to happen other than they're going to attack someone. Going to taunt, need to take out here, and command rush to kill. And that's how I finish it. So I try my best. 47 raid points. I try my best when I attack to remember what the other team's tunes do and on what turn they do it on. So the newer tunes I'm less familiar with. So Slater, I had to look. I didn't know what turn his active skill was or how much AP he needs in order to rush and revive. I know he revives both on his rush and his active skill. I didn't know about everyone getting focus for 3 turns, so his rush is actually quite good. You want to make sure he does not go off. So other tunes I'm not as familiar with, like Adam, I haven't really looked at all. Kyle, not used to him. Wangfa, Dayu. Lance, I see him a little bit, but not too much. Maggie, I don't see her much. Moira, not at all. Secretary Gal, not at all. Sheldon, not at all. Just a bunch of these tunes you don't really see. So it's whenever someone has a newer tune or a tune that people just don't really use, I usually have to check them. But for the most part, I have an idea of what turn each of these like regular tunes works on, because that helps me when I attack, because instead of having to check, I just kind of have a system of knowing who I can attack and when I can attack them. Or if I need to check tunes for a safe target, I know who I should check first. Okay. So, someone asked me kind of like when I go about team building, what I think about, because like I get sent a bunch of rosters or I see a bunch of rosters posted, asking for help. And there's a lot of different things I think about when I make teams. So regarding attack teams, I try to look for what lead tunes does the person have. Like by natural leads, I mean a tune like Diego, who gives plus 40% attack and a huge bonus to AP when attacking. So this is what I call a true leader, who does attack bonus and AP on attacking. So you don't always have to use a 6-star or an S-class, to be honest. Some people just don't have the right lead tune as a 6-star. And there's no issue, in my opinion, with using a 5-star. Now, you might think it's kind of ridiculous, but there are some decent 5-star lead tunes out there that can be used quite effectively. Like I was using this Negan for a while as my main attack lead, just because all melee teammates get plus 30% attack and a very large bonus to AP when attacking. Even as a 5-star, he's green, so he can carry a stun weapon, and his rush is very fast, so he can give up to 2 teammates 20% AP. So he can actually be used effectively. It doesn't mean he's going to survive, but it does mean you're gaining extra AP if you're able to rush him. It also means the rest of your team gets that attack boost and that AP boost, which is incredibly important. AP boosts are one of the most important parts of this game, in my opinion, and it's how you win a match. Then, you get into tunes like Kenny here, where all teammates get plus 45% attack against melee characters. This is a tune that would be good in, say, Onslaught. If you don't want to use rushes against the enemy and get that bonus, then use a tune as a lead that doesn't give you AP, so you're not tempted or you don't accidentally use it. Instead, rely upon pure attack, because it can be really useful, and use active skills. So yeah, anyway, lead tune. I also think about who's going to be the heavy damage dealer. And for me, I look towards James. So I always want to have at least one heavy damage dealer who's going to do the brunt of the work. Because without a heavy damage dealer, your battles are going to go on for a while. I am able to use Priya as well as another damage dealer, and because of her kit. So her kit, as I mentioned before, just does a variety of different things. You have Confuse and Impair. You can remove positive effects, and then the weapon, the Daze ability, is the biggest part to Priya, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, you can upgrade her weapon to a 5-star and then swap it out and put a double attack weapon with Rampage, and she will do a huge amount of damage. But until then, utilize the Daze ability to your advantage. The other type of tune I like to use a command tune, just because I'm able to rush on the second turn with a command tune in place. And that's just because I'm using a huge leader, and then I'm using at least a very large bonus of AP on these tunes that are at 76 AP. If I was to use Negan as the lead here, I would need a huge bonus to AP on my tune's weapons, but you kind of get the idea for that. This last spot here, if I'm ever able to find my command tune. Oh, I saw Glenn. The other tune that I like to use here, I use Cole right now because I'm able to actively control the enemy by using that taunt ability. Sorry, this Cole. Using that taunt ability, and then the attack down is huge, because with him only being a 6-star, he could get destroyed very easily by S-class tunes, but the attack down bonus helps keep him alive. Other options for this type of spot is like using a human shield, and the reason why you use human shields is so that the primary damage isn't dealt to your attackers or your support tunes. By using a human shield, you're forcing the enemy to attack them, and with a tune like Magna, she can have an Impair weapon. Jesus has AP down when being attacked. Koa can have AP down when being attacked, or the absolute defense weapon. Jesus could also get an absolute defense weapon. Ajax right now has reflect automatically, but you could sub on a stun weapon if you upgraded it or changed it. So generally speaking, I like having a team that can do damage but also has control. You need to find that balance because you never know what the enemy's going to throw at you, and that's why I run this team, because it has a balance of control as well as power. I'm able to control the enemy because Diego can use Impair, and Cole can taunt both with his rush and active skill and attack down. Glenn can confuse, and then he also has a plus 65% attack and defense bonus, I believe. His active skill can recover bleed. Priya does a large amount of damage, but can impair, confuse, and daze. James, just attack. That's it. That's his only job. And based on the current meta right now, with it being primarily red, by using Cole, they're not going to really have an advantage when they attack him. Instead, my Priya and my Cole have an advantage. Diego has a defensive build so that he survives. He also has a great focus active skill that can be really useful. I didn't use upgrade it once more for this -1 cooldown just because I should be done way before I have to use his active skill again. Let's see. The other active skills on this team I think I've talked about. James's active skill isn't very good. I shouldn't have leveled it, but I can't unlevel it now. So yeah, I'm hoping you guys were able to hear this stream again. I'm not sure if I am up and running, but I certainly hope so. In the League store, I've been trying to buy up gear every week. As you see, I don't have any League tokens, and I want to buy more gauntlets just so that it resets with the rest of them. I'm still buying my Horde energy refills. I picked up a couple GPSs. I need to get the canteens just to balance it out. Like the gear gate going on right now. The gear restrictions is ridiculous. I have 11 and 12 here, 29 double holsters, 4 hockey masks. I have a ton of practice dummies, that's good. But I always feel like I'm low in things. I am never above the curve. I'm also wondering when we're going to get a yellow dual specialist because these yellow flags have been sitting at 0 for a long time. So I need some police shields, scopes. Yeah, just need a bunch of gear all the time. So I really hope that we actually get a proper gear event sometime soon, and not like the recent event that we had where they called it a gear event, but I think you ended up spending more gear in the Harvest event than actually getting gear. Anyway, guys, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope everyone's had a great Christmas break. Sorry that I wasn't really answering questions during this stream. I just didn't have my computer up. And I'm also not sure if a stream even ran. So thank you everyone for listening and watching. Feel free to message me online at Linkassist with a period at the end if you want any help with team building or just to pick my brain. I'm always happy to help out and chat when I can. So thanks again everyone for the support, and I'll talk to you guys later.